Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to General Hospital previews for Monday, October 7th, Willow Corinthos will make an effort to forget about Drew Quartermaine and concentrate on her family with Michael Corinthos. There will be some topics for Michael and Willow to discuss now that Lucas Jones is back in the area and prepared to take on a role in Wiley Corinthos' life. Willow appears to be suggesting that they work things out together, which may cause Michael to relive some painful memories of the baby switch. There will undoubtedly be some tearful moments when Lucas visits Bobby Spencer's grave at the cemetery in the interim. Harrison Chase and Brooke Lynn Quartermaine will have to deal with some startling revelations from Violet Finn's principal. Brooke Lynn and Chase were already aware that Violet had hit a child, Garth, for calling her father an alcoholic. Violet and Chase had a lovely conversation, but it might not have been enough to keep her from facing some serious penalties at school. In the GH teaser video, Chase appears perplexed as he poses inquiries. If this isn't the first time an issue has arisen since Hamilton Finn entered treatment, the principal may decide to announce Violet's expulsion as a result. Violet, for her part, will ask Tracy Quartermaine for guidance on what to do if Finn is disparaged by someone else. In Monday's GH episode, Lois Cerullo will also have a disturbing moment. It remains to be seen if this has anything to do with the Violet drama or possibly a secret. Lois might be worried if something happens to jeopardize the long-kept secret that Brooke Lynn is Giovanni Gio Palmieri's biological mother, as the show has been making suggestions that she may be. Robert Scorpio will inform Diane Miller that Holly Sutton is back in town in another scene, but he will reassure her that their relationship is stable. Holly will answer the door at her hotel suite anticipating room service and will look surprised to see someone else. Jack Brennan appears to be making an appearance, as he will have a fascinating interaction with Holly in Monday's episode. After that, Terry Randolph and Elizabeth Baldwin will review Lucky Spencer's last test results in the hopes that everything will proceed according to plan for Lulu Spencer's liver transplant. Lucky will finally get to see Aiden Weber after all these years, and he'll admit he owes his son a big apology. We'll see how Aiden reacts to Lucky's first real attempt to mend things and establish a connection with him. General Hospital spoilers state Aiden may keep his guard up out of concern that Lucky may forsake him again, but our predictions point to them forming a better bond over time. The Friday, October 4th General Hospital teaser teases Violet Finn having to be picked up early from school after fighting with a boy called Garth. Violet punched Garth because he had labeled Hamilton Finn a drinker and had continued to talk about his stint in treatment. Violet was taken upstairs to change when Brooke Lynn Quartermaine showered her with grape juice in retaliation from Garth. Violet was appreciated by Harrison Chase for being honest with them, but he also cautioned her that her actions could have repercussions. A call stating that the principal needed to meet Violet's guardian immediately alarmed Brooke Lynn. Ava Jerome advised Rick Lansing at the gallery not to investigate any possibility of tampering with Heather Weber's results because GH might use their own lawyers to delay the case. Before taking departure, Rick understood someone had to be protected by Ava. Following that, Ava went to see Portia Robinson at her workplace and confronted her about the results manipulation that Rick was aware of. At first, Portia attempted to deny it, but Ava was certain it was her and didn't hold it against her for attempting to keep Trina Robinson safe. Ava eventually convinced Portia that she was accountable by stating that she would stop at nothing to keep her own daughter safe. Ava insisted on helping Trina because she knew that if her mother's job failed, Trina would blame herself. That being said, Ava wished Portia would just shut up and stop making a big deal out of herself. In addition to the fact that Rick might snoop around for Heather's benefit, Portia was worried about Brad Cooper working in the lab now. Ava thought she could handle Rick, and she soon received a call informing her that he was trying to have the case thrown out. Regarding Ava's enigmatic buddy, Rick maintained that they should stay that way. They hugged after Lucky Spencer dropped by Sonny Corinthos' office. Lucky felt that his father would have been disappointed that he had ever left, while Sonny believed that Luke Spencer would be happy for him for returning. Following Sonny's inspirational speech on fathers and sons, Lucky visited the hospital to meet up with Isaiah Gannon. Next, Trina attempted to reschedule Giovanni Gio Palmieri's violin performance at the gallery, but after Ava shoved Christina Corinthos Davis out of the window, he lost interest. Trina walked away and tried calling around to see if she could get another violinist. Jocelyn Jax had Gio and Trina make up after realizing there was tension when she arrived. Gio ultimately consented to perform the concert in Trina's honor and wait for the court to rule on Ava's guilt. Lucas Jones was welcomed home by Carly Spencer. Lucas discussed his desire to make a fresh start in Port Charles again, which included leaving Boston and taking a job at GH. After the baby exchange was made public, it was difficult to be near Wiley Corinthos, but Lucas was now prepared to become an uncle. Lucas looked for updates after Jocelyn informed him about Carly and Sonny's potential participation. But in the end, Lucas made the decision to return later for further information, and he managed to locate Brad at the hospital lab. Brad was happy to see Lucas, but his happiness was short-lived. Lucas was just there to provide clarification regarding his return to GH, which explains why. Brad was Brad's only business partner, he didn't want to talk to him about anything else. Lucas wasn't against Brad, he just wasn't interested in hanging around thinking about the past. Carly spoke with Pozzolo about Alexis Davis and the need to clear her name when she got to his place. Sonny believed that locating the gun that Alexis threw away would be crucial in demonstrating that it wasn't the one that murdered John Jagger Cates. Sonny promised to give himself up if it came down to it because Carly was worried about what would happen if the weapon wasn't recovered. We'll bring you more drama predictions as General Hospital spoilers indicate that if Alexis' condition worsens, Sonny might be pressured into making a confession. Thursday, October 3rd, General Hospital spoilers teased that Elizabeth Baldwin sat with Lucky Spencer and gave him a hug while he was eating a burger at Bobby's. Liz received information from Lucky regarding the issue surrounding Jen Sidwell and he gave her his word that he wouldn't break any pledges he made to Aidan Weber. Lucky accompanied Liz to GH since she had to go to work. Molly Lansing Davis visited Alexis Davis at Pentonville and encouraged her to take the necessary steps to win her release. Part of Alexis' defense involved putting Sonny Corinthos under the bus. Molly said that despite search attempts, the weapon Alexis disposed of remained missing. Now that he's back in Port Charles, Lucky is just as good as Lulu. Laura is still missing as he undergoes last-minute testing to ensure everything is in order before the transplant. Ludicrous fortunately, Laura is scheduled to return next week, so we won't be without her for too long. I started to worry that Lulu would wake up before returning to the city. I'm eager to find out what kept them. Has Kevin misplaced his passport? We still don't know Lucky's outcome, and we don't know if he will be able to give his liver to save Lulu. That will happen on Monday, as I mentioned. I continue to believe that his liver will fail the test, necessitating Charlotte's intervention to preserve Lulu's life. It's the only explanation for Valentine's audacity to go back to Port Charles at this time. The scenes between Elizabeth and Lucky were amazing, particularly when she refused to inform Lucky about their kid because she believed Aidan should tell his father about their boy's history. I hope Liz will have a more upbeat plot now that Lucky is back, rather than one that is depressing. Lucky needs to be well soon. This week, we also welcomed a new Aidan. Even though Cassidy resembles Lucky more than the other two actors, he still seems a little too mature to be Elizabeth's youngest kid. I'm not feeling at all like a Baker with him. To be honest, he seems a little too cool to be Aidan. I sincerely hope that his character won't be completely rewritten. Given Brad's past unethical behavior, Miss High and Mighty Portia became apprehensive about him returning to work at the hospital. She ought to speak. She was obviously concerned that he would find out that she had changed Heather's test results. The situation worsened for the doctor when Ava spoke openly with Rick after he discovered that someone at the hospital had modified Heather's cobalt test results solely from General Hospital. It was funny and really accurate that she added, it wouldn't be the first time. Ava offered to assist Portia after promptly alerting her about Rick, without revealing that she was the one who had first told him about her. Even though I don't like Portia, I respect their relationship and their willingness to stand up for Trina. Even so, I still want to see Portia get exposed and punished for this, even though it appears that Ava and Portia may ultimately blame Brad for it. In relation to medical professionals, Van Hansis has returned to portray Lucas. I'm excited to see him as Lucas because I never saw him on As the World Turns. I'm impressed so far. Given that he has made it plain that he doesn't want to see Brad, who might be his next romantic interest? It appears that a new character may be needed unless the show manages to bring Felix back. Since Natalia is the only person we have left, maybe her estranged son will show up and start dating Lucas. Not that Natalia would adore that. Although Ava and Rick have a troubled past and some ill will, they are nonetheless incredibly enchanting together. Might their destiny extend beyond the traditional attorney-client dynamic? I have nothing against it. I adore that Carly is irritated because Jason is withholding information from her on his trip with Anna. Jason, keep that a secret. Neither does Anna appear to be interested in telling or kissing. It's possible that they will exchange pyrotechnics on New Year's Eve this year. The brightest thing to come out of that terrible African misadventure plot involving Lucky and Sidwell was Isaiah. He declared to Lucky on Friday's show that he would never operate on patients again. That is a story, indeed. Now that Jason has returned, Sam is at last behaving civilly toward him and sincerely apologizing for how she has treated him. Really? Right before her death? At school, poor Violet is the target of bullying. How could someone be unkind to her? Even though I adore Violet, this seems like a remake of Aiden and Charlotte. For Brooke, Lynn, and Chase, I would want to see a better story, hell, any story. But perhaps this one will catch me off guard. It startled me that the cliffhanger from last week, Ned finding out about Willow and Drew's kiss, was left unanswered. But again, this week's offerings were limited to 3, so why waste one on the other 2? Last week, I finally lost it over the fact that Sonny's cronies were all helping Alexis get away with his crime. Carly's decision to stand up and tell Sonny that they had to assist Alexis made me extremely happy. I was surprised to hear Sonny declare that if it came down to it, he would clear Alexis. How come? I want to watch this now. However, a few weeks prior, I conjectured that he may act in that way to save Christina, laughing that it would likely be the one instance in which no one thought he was at fault. That's all I have to say this week in terms of views, opinions, and forecasts. Post yours in the comments section below, as usual. The most recent General Hospital spoilers, covering events in Port Charles from Monday, October 7th to Friday, October 11th, can be found on soaps.com. As Laura returns, Lucky is finally reunited with his mother, Sonny has orders for Diane, and Jason and Anna decide it's time for a frank conversation. Ava is also going to have a run-in that can only be characterized as unpleasant. Lucas may be a different person, but his family remains the same. See if he pays Bobby's cemetery a visit today. Will Holly and Brennan meet for the first time when they do? Or do they have a history together? Because Robert keeps his word, you should heed his promises. Lois seems unsettled, and Chase and Brooklyn are left reeling from an unanticipated revelation. When Evan Hofer was forced out of his dressing room, his response might make you believe in people again. The reunion of Robert and Holly brings back memories of the past. Could fans of the couple receive their long-awaited reunion at last? Could the visit Sam pays to Alexis be the beginning of what actress Kelly Monaco previously called retaliation at its finest? Elizabeth can't help but worry that anything may be wrong with Lucky. Could it be that Lucky can't save Lulu? Or is this connected to the gems owned by Holly and Sidwell? Brennan receives some cautionary remarks from Anna. Mac isn't averse to expressing his opinions. What exactly are his 2 cents worth, though? Laura appears to be making her way back to Port Charles at last. Soap viewers have been discussing that Jason/Anna kiss for a time now. It's time for Jason and Anna to talk about it now. Be cautious of flying sparks when Carly meets with Brennan once more. Lucky knows exactly who to ask for assistance when he needs it. Sonny makes up with Christina. Hear what Lucky's actor, Jonathan Jackson, has to say about his TV mother as Laura and him get back together. Is Dante being silly to hope? Sonny is prepared to take action, which entails giving Diane the command to march. Michael tries his best to cause trouble in the interim, and Jason is feeling quite hesitant. Sonny takes a choice that could have far-reaching effects. Is it possible that he is going to confess to killing Jagger at last? Martin and Alexis are in the meantime deciding how to proceed. Anna wants to ask Carly a few questions. What happens when Brad confides something in Cody? Ava crosses paths with someone she would have preferred to stay away from. she should keep quiet and let Ava handling Rick, Ava advises. Portia worries that Rick will free Heather from prison. Rick calls Ava just at that moment. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.